Audio Adventures of Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeon Academy, Tourney of Terror. Beneath a mountain without a name, where roots drink from underground rivers, and crystals remember the first stars, there stands an academy unlike any other. Its halls are carved through living stone. Its classrooms are guarded by riddles. Its students learn not only how to face danger, but how to understand it. The Academy's annual team tournament is called the Tourney of Terror. The name is mostly ceremonial. Usually the greatest terror is public embarrassment, a misplaced spell, or Professor Brindlewick's disappointed eyebrow. But this year, beneath the cheers, something old has begun to wake.
Students, faculty, honored guests, please remain behind the silver line. The silver line is not decorative. It is warded, measured, and in one regrettable incident, mildly argumentative.
The 4 students stood beneath the ceremonial lantern. Mira Quill, who could read a map as others read a face. Tamsin Brass, who could repair nearly anything except his own sense of timing. Rook Emberclaw, who believed every obstacle was an invitation to sprint. And Sable Vale, who trusted shadows more readily than people.
Mira! Look at the size of that trophy! It's taller than Tamsin! That is because I am compact, athletic, and perfectly proportioned. You are standing on a crate. A tactical crate. Can we focus? The tournament map has 7 gates, but the registration chart shows 8 teams. Someone has drawn a new passage under the East Gallery. Good. More passage means more ground to cover. We win quickly, we win loudly, and we win before lunch. Your strategy is a straight line with shouting. It has worked before. My door says alone. Mine says fragile. I am jacked on technical grounds. Mine says too slow. Finally, an honest door. Mine says wrong. That is not a fear. That is a challenge.
From Mira, a map was a promise. If she drew a line, people trusted it. If the line was wrong, they got lost. The lantern had burned for 100 years. Its flame was blue-white, its brass frame blackened with age. As the tournament bell lifted its hammer, the lantern whispered a name.
Oravine.
Not that name. Not here. I said, let the games begin.
Let the games begin!
The bell rang. The stone doors opened, and the 4 students stepped into the first trial, believing they were racing for a trophy. They were wrong. The first chamber unfolded like a map in a giant's hand. Passages folded into one another. Staircases descended and returned from above. Every door bore a symbol, chosen from the mind of the person who looked at it.
The corridors changed. This one does. It has taste. I prefer corridors with fewer opinions. The walls are sliding according to the symbols on the floor. Compass rose, broken crown, closed eye. The route is responding to us. No, it is responding to our fears. My door says alone. Mine says fragile. Mine says too slow. Finally, an honest door. Mine says wrong. That is not a fear. That is a challenge.
The chamber tested them again. It showed what a finish line with the others far behind. It showed Tamsin, a heap of broken machines. It showed Sable, a hall filled with friends who could see through every illusion. And it showed Mira, a blank page.
I am afraid of being wrong. Stop drawing lines. Draw possibilities. A map is not a command. It is a conversation with a place. We go where the floor is still warm. Then we turn whenever the ceiling stops echoing. That is not a map. It is a possibility. Fine. I I will follow your possibility. A historic moment. Mark the date. Rook has followed something. I can hear you. That is the concern.
Mira called the route. Tamsin found the seam in the left wall. Sable covered an empty stone doorway with a convincing illusion. Rook pushed the fallen pillar exactly when instructed. The passage opened.
4 hands. 1 flame. Did you hear that? Who are you? I am what remains when a promise is given light. I have been quiet for a very long time.
And so the first trial ended. But the lantern's whisper followed them into the dark. The students had not yet learned the question hidden beneath the tournament. They had only learned that the dungeon was this.
Beyond the moving map lay a cavern filled with clockwork creatures. Brass foxes chased silver moths. A stone-backed turtle hummed in 3-part harmony. Above them all, a great mechanical owl flapped with 1 broken wing.
The rules are simple. Restore the menagerie's central gear, cross the chamber, and ring the 2nd bell. Please do not dismantle any creature without authorization. What if it asks politely? Then still no. Look, the rival team is already running. We lose time if we stop. Keep moving. The slow teams can repair everything after we win.
A rival student pulled the central lever. The cavern shuddered. The mechanical beasts scattered. The owl's broken wing struck a crystal support, and a rain of harmless but blinding sparks filled the chamber.
I dislike them.
Excellent. Dislike is very motivating.
The animals are frightened. They are made of metal. Fear does not require flesh. Tamsin, what does the gear need? 3 teeth, 1 spring, and a little dignity. We have teeth. Do not offer yours. Rook, hold the owl steady. Sable, make the moths fly toward the crystal. Mira, count the rotation. I will build the missing spring. You want me to hold a bird? A very large bird. I was born for this.
Rook caught the owl. Mira counted the gear's rhythm. Sable shaped an illusion of moonlight, guiding the silver moths away from danger. Tamsin bent a strip of brass around his own wrist guard.
There! Improvise spring. Do not ask where I got the brass. Your wrist guard is missing. It made a noble sacrifice. 2nd bell? Team Quill, Brass, Emberclaw, Veil advances. We are ahead! I knew we could do it! Does this mean we win? Not yet. We still have the phone chamber.
The central gear turned. The menagerie settled. The clockwork turtle hummed a bright final chord. But the lantern's voice followed through the stone.
Repair is a kind of courage.
The voice was not the lantern's usual whisper. It seemed to come from the walls themselves, from the ancient foundations below the academy.
Did you hear that? I heard a voice. It said the school was built over something. That is not in the tournament handbook. The handbook is very clear about snacks, safety, and proper flag placement. It says nothing about ancient foundations.
Professor Brindlewick consulted the official route. The route showed 3 chambers, a finish line, and a trophy. It did not show a stairway beneath the floor. Yet beneath the team's feet, something was turning.
The 3rd gate is opening. Why is there a line of blue light under it? That is not normal. How do you know? Because normal lines of light do not spell names.
The name was incomplete. Only the first sound glimmered in the stone. Aster.
Asterion? Aster? Oivon?
The lantern called the dungeon master's name again. And this time, he answered.
You know what is down there.
I know what was forgotten. That is not an answer. It is the only answer I can give until the hall asks its question. The third gate opened. The students stepped forward, leaving the clockwork menagerie behind. Somewhere above, the crowd cheered. Somewhere below, the Academy's buried heart beat once, weakly, in the dark.
The third chamber had no mechanisms, no beasts, and no visible door. It was a long hall of dark glass. In each pane, a student saw something they had never said aloud.
I am not afraid of a mirror. It is not a mirror. Then, I am not afraid of a window. Rook, your reflection is not moving. It is thinking.
Sable's pane showed a circle of students laughing beside a shadow shaped like her. Mira's showed a map with every name erased. Tamsin's showed a workshop where every invention worked perfectly, and no one had come to see it.
We should say the thing the hall wants. And if we do not, we remain here until we become very honest or very old. I am afraid of being wrong. You were wrong about the Western Corridor. That seems important. I am afraid that if people know me, they will find nothing worth staying for.
The hall grew colder. The dark glass did not attack them. It simply waited, certain that silence would eventually reveal everything.
You are useful when you listen. I know you pretend not to care when you care the most. I know you stand nearest the door so everyone else can leave first. I know you hate sweet root tea, but drink it when Mira makes it. It is not terrible tea. That is the kindest lie anyone has told me.
Mira placed her hand against the glass. Her reflection did not copy her. It offered her a blank map.
A map is not a promise that I will never be wrong. It is a promise that I will keep looking. I cannot know every path. I can ask for help.
The dark glass cracked, not from force, but from truth. A stairway appeared beneath the floor.
Master Orvane, the official route does not include a below. The official route has forgotten why it was built. You know this place. You were here when it was built? I was here when it was saved. There was a difference. The lantern is speaking again.
The stair descended beneath the tournament chambers, beneath the classrooms, beneath even the oldest foundations. The lantern's glow showed carvings in the walls, students carrying stones, teachers binding wounds, a school built around a sleeping heart.
These are older than the Academy. You know what it cost. You guarded this place? I guarded the door. I did not understand the room. Then let us understand it now.
At the bottom of the stairs stood a circular vault. In its center floated a crystal engine, dimming with every pulse. Brass conduits reached upward toward the trophy chamber.
The trophy is connected to this. It is drawing power from the foundation. And every year's tournament has weakened the school. Not every year. Only when victory became more important than purpose.
The vault doors opened. The buried heart gave one faint pulse. Above them, the tournament crowd roared, unaware that the Academy itself was beginning to fail.
We have to stop the tournament. No. We have to finish it. The root was never the true trial. The heart is asking what we will protect when no one is watching.
The lantern's flame loomed toward the students.
4 hands. 1 flame. Choose.
The vault awakened, not with a roar, but with a sorrowful turning of gears. The crystal engine opened like an eye. Around it, 4 platforms rose, each marked with one of the fears from the earlier trials.
It wants us to repeat the trials. No, it wants us to understand them. I liked it better when understanding involved fewer glowing platforms. Tell us what to do.
The heart was built to answer a question. The trophy was built to reward an answer. For a century, the reward was mistaken for the question. What will you protect when no one is watching? The school. The first platform demanded a path. Mira placed her map upon it, but the lines dissolved. She drew again, not a route to victory, but routes to every chamber above.
The Academy is not a finish line. It is everyone who is still inside it.
The second platform demanded a tool. Tamsin removed the trophy's smallest gold pin.
That is an official tournament artifact. It is also a very good pin. I can use it to bridge the cracked conductor.
If you break the trophy, we lose. If I do not, everyone above loses more.
The third platform demanded strength. Rook braced himself beneath a failing arch while the others worked.
I can hold it. For how long? Long enough? That is not a measurement. It is the only one I have.
The fourth platform demanded a face. Sable removed her illusion, revealing herself exactly as she was. Tired, frightened, and unwilling to abandon the others.
I am here. I am afraid. I am staying.
The promise is remembered.
Arivane, speak your name. Asterion? I was called Asterion before the mountain closed. I carried the first light into the dark. When the founders built the Academy, they asked me to remember what they could not.
Asterion was the first light beneath the mountain. Arivane had guarded the door for generations, but even he had forgotten the reason for the lock.
You built the tournament. The trophy's enchantment is draining the heart. The tournament was meant to teach courage, not conquest. Over time, the lesson was buried under applause. Then uncover it.
The students worked together. Mira redirected the power. Tamsin repaired the conductor. Rook held the arch. Sable shaped a calm illusion around the engine so its failing light could gather instead of scatter.
Speak together. We protect the path. We repair what is broken. We hold when others cannot. We remain when it is easier to disappear. We protect what is entrusted to us.
The heart below brightened. The Academy trembled. Above them, every bell in every classroom rang at once.
The trophy is dark. The words are changing. The official scoreboards have become completely illegible. Does that mean we win? It means the scoreboard has finally achieved wisdom.
The golden cup cracked down the center. Its enchantment fell away like old paint. It became an ordinary trophy, bright, heavy, and empty of borrowed power.
We gave up the win. We chose the school. I know. I just wanted both. So did everyone who ever made a difficult choice.
A champion is not the one who reaches the end first. A champion is the one who makes an end possible for others. The tournament's true purpose was never terror. It was trust. The chambers asked whether students could carry one another's courage through the dark.
Then, as acting registrar, I declare Team Quill
Brass, Emberclaw, and Vale. Champions of the Restored Tournament. Restored Tournament? Next year's event will include a repair category, a listening category, and a mandatory ethics examination. I object to the word mandatory. Who would? The students cheered. Not because the trophy had been won, but because the lights of the academy shone again. In the vault beneath them, Asterion flame steadied. Do you think the next tournament will be easier? No. Excellent. If it were easy, they might let Mirk design it. I have excellent ideas. Your last idea involved wasting a staircase, and I nearly won. Old stones remember. Brass remembers. Light remembers. And somewhere below the academy, a lantern that had been silent for 100 years had finally spoken its name. Asterion. But names are doors, and doors are invitations. If the lantern had remembered one name, perhaps it might remember another. Perhaps beneath the school there were more chambers, more promises, more forgotten lights, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. So the students returned to their lessons. Mira redrew the academy map with room for mysteries. Tamsin rebuilt his wrist guard and added 3 unnecessary switches. Rook practiced standing the...
So the students returned to their lessons. Mira redrew the academy map with room for mysteries. Tamsin rebuilt his wrist guard and added 3 unnecessary switches. Rook practiced standing still for 7 whole seconds. Sable began, cautiously, to sit with the others at lunch.
7 seconds is a personal record!
It is not a record if you announce it.
I am announcing it because records deserve witnesses!
You are all impossible. And yet, you stayed.
And I, Dungeon Master Oravane, watched the lantern burn. For every school has a heart. Every heart has a keeper. And every adventure begins when someone hears a whisper in the dark and chooses not to turn away.
4 hands. 1 flame.
The end of this adventure is only the beginning of the next. End. The first gate closed behind the students, but the stone did not become still. It remembered their footsteps. Beneath the floor, a low pulse traveled through the academy like a question passing from room to room.
We should be celebrating! We crossed the maze! We rescued a rival team! We are still in the tournament! We are also covered in chalk dust, and one of us is wearing a door hinge. I call that a victory accessory. It is not a victory accessory. It is a tactical accessory. The rulebook does not forbid tactical accessories. The rulebook does not mention doors.
In the narrow service tunnel, the students found marks older than the academy's oldest classroom. 4 hands surrounded a single flame. Beneath the image, a sentence had been carved and worn nearly smooth.
Read it. I can read the first line. What is carried below must be returned above. That sounds important. Or ominous. Important things are often ominous. Professor, is this part of the official route? No, it is not on my map. Then who made the map? The Academy did. The Academy did not make these marks. That is an administrative contradiction.
Professor Brindlewick tried to close the ledger. The ledger refused to close. Its pages fluttered toward the foundation marks, and a faint blue glow appeared in the margins. The book is doing that thing again! Books should not do things again! This one is a supplementary registrar. It records changes in the school's wards. Then why does it say heart asleep, heart hungry? I have never authorized those words. Perhaps authorization is not the same as truth. Tamsin knelt beside a copper channel hidden beneath the dust. He tapped it with a screwdriver. The sound traveled farther than it should have. That is not a pipe. It is a conductor. The tournament trophy is connected to it. Connected how? Every point owned by a team sends a little energy into the cup. The cup sends that energy into the foundation. Why would a trophy need energy? To make winners feel like winners. That is a terrible design. It is a traditional design. Tradition is not an offense. A rumble rolled through the tunnel. A distant crowd cheered, though the next chamber had not opened. The sound seemed to come from below rather than above. The other team is at the second gate. Then we are behind. We are not behind. We are investigating. Investigating is what people call being behind when they want to feel clever. Look! The whole building may be in danger. I know. That is why I want to run toward the danger efficiently. At the tunnel's end, a round door bore the same flame symbol. When Mira touched it, the lantern's voice came through the metal. 4 hands, 1 flame. A prize can become a prison when no one remembers why it was made. Lantern, if you can hear us, answer one question. Who built this place? The first students built it. The first teachers guarded it. The first promise was not to win. It was to keep the light alive. The door opened onto the clockwork menagerie. Brass wings stored in the dark. The students entered without knowing that the next trial would test not speed, but Kale.
The hall did not show monsters. It showed unfinished sentences. Each pane of dark glass held a version of a student who had stopped speaking just before the truth.
I can draw the route, but I cannot promise the route will be right. You have been promising certainty because you thought the team needed it. They need honesty more.
Honesty is not a substitute for procedure.
It is a useful beginning when procedure has forgotten the people it protects. The hall opens for what is offered freely.
One by one, the panes spoke. Rook's reflection demanded applause. Tamsin's reflection demanded proof. Sable's reflection offered an empty chair at a table that disappeared whenever she approached.
I can leave. If I leave now, the illusion loses its target. Or it gets exactly what it wants. What if staying makes me a danger? Then we will notice together. We notice dangers all the time.
Usually after Tamsin builds them.
A machine is only dangerous before the safety label is applied.
The joke landed softly, but it landed. In a hall designed around silence, even a small laugh was an act of resistance.
Speak the fear, then speak the choice. I am afraid of being wrong. I choose to ask for help. I am afraid that being known means being left. I choose to remain where I am known.
I am afraid that if I break one rule,
the school will lose its shape. I choose to remember what the rules were shaped to protect.
The last pane waited for Orovine. In it, the old guardian stood beside a door with no handle. He had kept the door closed for so long that he had forgotten the room beyond it.
Orovine,
I hear you.
then say what you did not say.
I was there at the beginning. I helped make the test. I thought a difficult path would teach courage. When the cheers grew louder, I let the trophy become the lesson. I guarded the door, but I did not guard the meaning. The dark glass cracked. The team looked at him, not as a legend, not as a judge, but as a tired old keeper who had finally admitted he needed help.
Then come with us.
Into the room?
Into the truth. It is less comfortable than a room, but probably better ventilated. 4 hands. 1 flame.
The floor opened into a stair descending beneath the tournament route. The students gathered at its edge. For the first time, no one asked who would go first. They went together. The stair ended in a chamber so large that its ceiling vanished into darkness. At the center floated a crystal engine, dim as a coal beneath ash. Brass conduits rose toward the academy above. Every pulse made the trophy's distant enchantment answer.
We take the trophy out and smash the connection.
Please do not smash the connection until I know what the connection is connected to. I must insist that the official procedure requires the team to return to the marked route.
The marked route is killing the school.
That is an unverified statement. The engine is wheezing. I have verified wheezing.
Astarion's light flickered across the vault. The flame showed 4 platforms, each waiting for a different kind of courage. A path must be offered. A broken thing must be repaired. A burden must be held. A truth must be seen.
I can hold the burden. I can repair the broken thing. I can count the cycles and keep the procedure safe.
And I can tell you what the chamber will demand. No, you can listen. The chamber will tell you. Mira laid her map upon the first platform. The ink lifted into the air, becoming routes between every classroom and dormitory. Tamsin removed a gold pin from the trophy. Rook braced himself beneath a failing arch. Sable shaped a gentle illusion around the engine, turning scattered light into a steady ring.
I am about to perform a repair with 1 pin, 2 wires, 3 prayers, and absolutely no warranty.
You can do it.
That is not a technical specification.
It is the one you need.
The trophy resisted. Its borrowed power pulled upward, searching for applause. The engine dimmed. The arch groaned.
Cycle 1, unstable. Cycle 2, worse. Cycle 3, unexpectedly hopeful. I like that last one. It is not a scientific category. It is now.
Speak together. We protect the path. We repair what is broken. We hold when others cannot.
We remain when it is easier to disappear. We protect what is entrusted to us. The crystal heart answered, not with force, but with recognition. The trophy's glow thinned. The borrowed gold light flowed backward through the conduits. For one breath, the whole academy above became silent.
Did we win?
We are still alive. The scoreboards have gone dark. Then perhaps they are ready to learn. The final repair had begun.
The chamber held its breath. The trophy's gold light trembled between the students' hands and the failing heart below. Above them waited a crowd expecting a winner. Below them waited a school expecting to survive.
If we sever the trophy, the tournament ends. Then let it end. The consequences will be considerable. So would the consequences of doing nothing. A prize is small beside a promise.
Mira unfolded her map across the engine's rim. Tamsin's repaired conductor clicked into place. Rook held the cracked arch steady. Sable removed every illusion except one, a circle of quiet light around the heart.
I used to think an illusion was a way to hide. Now I think it can be a way to show people where to look. Then show us. I am showing you the truth. It is frightened, unfinished, and still here.
The trophy pulled against them. Its enchantment was built to reward the first team across the final line. It knew how to gather excitement. It did not know how to understand sacrifice.
I have spent my entire career preserving the rules. We need you to preserve the reason. The reason was safety. Then choose safety. Break the rule that is endangering us.
Brindlewick opened his ledger. For once, he did not search for permission. He drew a line through the tournament's final instruction.
By authority of the Academy, I suspend the final trial. The promise is heard.
The trophy cracked. Its light poured backward into the conduits. The buried heart brightened, then brightened again, until the chamber walls shone with the memory of every student who had ever learned beneath the mountain.
It is working. We are working. The distinction is important. Very important. We should put it in the new handbook. I will draft a section.
Asterion spoke her name, and the Academy heard it through every lamp.
I am Asterion, keeper of the first light. I remember the hands that built these halls. I remember the promise they made. No student enters the dark alone.
Above, the crowd fell silent. Then the bells rang. Not the sharp bell of a race, but a deep, welcoming note.
We did not win the trophy. We won the school. Technically, the school won itself. Technically, you were trying to avoid saying we did something brave. I am recording it in triplicate.
The Academy celebrated with warm lamps, repaired doors, and a meal that Tamsin claimed was improved by adding 6 unnecessary springs. The trophy stood on a plain shelf, ordinary at last.
I am redrawing the Academy map. This time, I will leave room for places I do not understand. I will help. You will? Do not make it sentimental. I would never.
Rook practiced standing still. He lasted 7 seconds before cheering for himself.
7 seconds is a record. It is a record because you keep announcing it. Records need witnesses. You are all impossible. And yet, we stayed.
In the quiet after celebration, Asterian's flame leaned toward a newly uncovered door beneath the academy.
4 hands. 1 flame. There were other lights below.
Stones remember. Brass remembers. Light remembers. Every adventure begins when someone hears a whisper in the dark and chooses not to turn away. The end of this adventure is only the beginning of the next end.
The menagerie was not a collection of toys. It was an orchestra of moving parts, and every creature had been tuned to the Academy's heartbeat. When the trophy's distant pulse quickened, the brass animals began to hurry.
The fox is running in circles. It is not chasing the moth, it is fleeing the sound. Then we stop the sound. We cannot stop the trophy from here. We can stop pretending the trial is harmless. Professor, open the safety gate. The rules say teams must not interfere with another team's score. The rules also say no student is to be left in a dangerous chamber. That rival is not dangerous. The chamber is.
Mira placed her hand against the largest gear. The metal was warm. Asterian's voice came through the gear teeth.
A prize that demands haste will teach haste. A heart that needs care will teach care. That sounds like a riddle. It sounds like a warning.
Sable cast a small illusion, not of a faster path, but of a slower rhythm. The silver moths steadied. The clockwork turtle stopped humming and listened.
Tamsin, can you redirect the scoring current? He can if he is given time. We do not have time. Then make time. How? By refusing to spend it on panic. The scoreboard is not a command, it is a suggestion with very loud bells.
The team began again, this time matching their hands to the menagerie's breathing rhythm. The broken wing lowered. The central gear turned. Somewhere beneath the floor, the Academy's buried heart answered with one faint pulse.
The coin moved downward. The trophy is taking energy from the chamber. Then the tournament is not measuring us, it is beating on us. Not us, perhaps. We need to be first. We can still choose what happens next.
They repaired the final hinge together. The mechanical owl folded its wings and bowed. Its glass eyes reflected the lantern's warm flame.
Repair is a kind of courage. Then let the next trial teach us what courage costs.
The hall divided into 3 reflections. In one, Rook stood alone beneath a cheering sky. In another, Tamsin watched a machine he had built carry everyone safely away without him. In the third, Professor Brindlewick held a rule book whose pages had become blank. I do not need them to cheer.
You are flexing at a wall. The wall is very supportive. The wall is a reflection, and it has excellent taste.
The reflection smiled without warmth. It asked Rook what remained when strength was not enough.
I could be useful in another way. That sounded painful. It was. I could listen. I could wait. I could let someone else be first.
Tamsin's reflection held out a perfect machine.
It works. It does exactly what it was made to do.
Then no one needs you.
The machine can work perfectly and still need a person to decide where it belongs.
Professor Brindlewick turned the blank rule book in his hands.
I thought rules were walls. Then I thought they were maps. Now I think they are promises. And promises must be examined when they stop protecting people. That is the wisest thing you have said. I have said many wise things. Most of them had footnotes.
The reflections began to fade, not because the fears had vanished, but because the students no longer stood inside them alone.
If I run, stop me. If I panic, hand me a screwdriver. If I hide behind procedure, remind me who the procedure serves.
The hall answered with a soft crack of glass. A stairway appeared, descending into blue light. The stair descended through layers of stone, marked by generations of hands. Some marks were careful, some were hurried. All of them pointed downward.
You know this place. He knows the door. That is not the same as knowing the room. I object to being included in this accusation. Then answer it. I have spent 30 years trusting the records. And the records are incomplete. Records are never incomplete. They are either properly filed or not yet found.
Asterian's light touched a carving of 4 students carrying a lantern between them.
The first tournament was a promise of service. It asked who would carry light through the dark and return with enough for the next traveler. When did it become a race? When applause became easier to measure than courage.
Oravine stopped before a sealed arch. Dust moved across his boots, though no wind passed.
What happened here?
We built a test. We wanted students to learn how to rely on one another. Then the trophy was enchanted to remember victory. It began to reward the first team more strongly each year. I saw the change. I told myself it was harmless.
That is how harm survives. You should have reported it.
I should have opened the door. Brindlewick looked at the official route in his ledger. The ink rearranged itself, pointing toward the sealed arch.
The official route ends here.
Then the official route is wrong.
Oh, I dislike saying that. You can say it once. The official route is wrong.
The arch opened. A warm pulse rose from below. It was not the sound of a monster. It was the tired heartbeat of a school that had been giving too much.
4 hands. 1 flame. Choose what you will protect.
The final conductor waited beneath the trophy's pedestal. It was no larger than a finger, but the entire Academy's failing rhythm traveled through it.
I need the pin. The pin is in the trophy. I know. Removing it will end the scoring enchantment. Then remove it. I am required to object. Object quickly.
Rook held the arch. Mira called the rhythm from above. Sable kept the light steady. Brindlewick placed one hand on the trophy and closed his ledger.
I suspend the final score. I suspend the rule that says victory must be purchased with power. I choose the school.
The promise is heard. Tamsin slid the pin into the cracked conductor. For one silent instant, nothing happened.
I would like to state for the record that silence is a very poor response from a machine. Wait. I am waiting.
The heart is breathing. The engine brightened. Light rolled through the conduits and returned to every lamp above. The trophy's gold surface dulled to ordinary brass. A prize can be small and still be precious. It is precious when it remembers effort, not hunger. I can live with an ordinary trophy.
I cannot. I will improve it. You will not improve the official trophy. I will improve the shelf beneath it.
The students climbed back into the academy as the bells rang a welcoming note. The crowd had expected a winner. Instead, it received a lesson.
We did not cross the final line. We crossed a more important one. That phrase will need approval before it appears in the handbook. You are smiling. I am not. Your eyebrow is.
Below them, Asterian's flames settled into a steady glow. The buried heart had been restored, but a newly uncovered door remained beneath the academy. 4 hands, 1 flame. There were other lights below. Old stones remember. Brass remembers. Light remembers. And when the next whisper rises from the dark, these students will listen together. End. Evening settled over the academy in layers of amber light. The halls no longer shivered. The lamps no longer dimmed when the students laughed. In the central court, a plain shelf had been built for the plain trophy.
It looks smaller now. It was always small. It used to fill the whole room. That was the enchantment. The record will show that the trophy's perceived size was influenced by the scoring field. The record can say it was showing off. I will consider the phrase.
The 4 students stood before the academy, not as winners, but as the first keepers of a new rule.
Next year, nobody races alone. Next year, every team gets a repair kit. Next year, the judges listen before they score. Next year, the map includes a route for turning back.
Students gathered around them. Some had watched the tournament from balconies. Some had repaired doors while the heart below woke. All had heard the bells.
The tournament will be rewritten. It will test speed, yes, but also care, judgment, cooperation, and the ability to stop when stopping is wise. That is a great deal to fit on one page. It will be an appendix. Of course it will.
Oravine entered the court carrying Asterion in both hands. The lantern's flame was steady, but its glow reached farther than before.
I remember the first promise. No student enters the dark alone. We will keep it. Even when it is inconvenient. Especially when it is inconvenient. That sounds like a challenge. It is a responsibility. Those are often the best challenges.
Beneath the shelf, a hairline of blue light appeared in the floor. It traced a new symbol. Not 4 hands around one flame, but 5.
There is another mark. Then there is another door. There is no door on the architectural plan. Excellent. I have been waiting for a problem the plan cannot solve. The next light is older than I am.
The students looked toward the darkness beneath the court. No one moved away. No one pretended to be fearless. They simply gathered closer, shoulder beside shoulder, while the ordinary trophy caught the lantern's glow.
Tomorrow, we map it. Tomorrow, we ask permission. Tomorrow, I will draft the request. Tomorrow, I will improve the request. Tomorrow, we go below.
Tonight, you rest. And so they did. For one night, the Academy rested. The heart below beat steadily. The lantern remembered its name. And beneath the floor, another light waited. Not hungry, not angry, only patient.
4 hands, 1 flame. A promise makes room for more.
Old stones remember. Grass remembers. Light remembers. When courage is shared, darkness becomes not an ending, but an invitation. The end of this adventure is only the beginning of the next. End.